One of the person, how y'all doing this morning? One of the persons said in Capitol Hill that Joe Biden put Ukraine needs before American needs. America don't know how to treat America. They don't know how to treat their own America. Donald Trump decided to let a voter win over justice, over how disability get treated. He wanted profit. And to understand those things, if you have to understand those things and understand those things. You say you said Joe Biden put Ukraine needs before America, but America put their own needs before other. The situation those things is you go against those things, and the principle you allow the community to antagonate and turn, and you allow the rap community to do what they did to me. So the difference is God said, when the time comes, and I act the Supreme Court for everybody's life in Capitol Hill, but your people is going to choose that for you and decide to keep you alive, where Trump voters need to be put to death and all of those things. So the situation is this: the process of what you're doing is not truly American because you're going against your own America. So to understand that we fight with each other instead of understanding each other. So the principle of those things and how to address those things. But how can you blame somebody but you treat your own American bad and the government being aggressive with the community? Why the government plays a part of the community? Why is that? I said this and I said this again, and I told Donald Trump and I just told the Supreme Court, your vote mean nothing when your spirit ain't right. So why did Trump let the voters put the trust on how disability get adjusted in your voters in your mindset? Trump didn't care about disability. You cared about profit more than you did disability. That's the understanding. This is the understanding of how things are being done. And your community been attacking. Governor Abbott been spiritual aggression, and I warned that they've been trying to cause accident. So when the time comes, when the army gets here, why not take everybody from their door and not play innocent here? Why stop it? Stop playing dumb here. You're not gonna play dumb with me. Joe Biden, I want your community, everybody that live in it, you're not gonna play dumb. Because the business play a part of the community and how disability get treated. Don't play dumb with me. Don't do that. Everybody have to be responsible. So if we gotta hold a whole Trump voters and put them to death with Donald Trump and his kids and all the rest of them, that's what it's gonna have to be. Everybody that had a disagreement what you're talking about here, watch it. Because if you keep doing it, we're gonna have a thing. And the dumb FBI, they need some help. Don't don't come to me when you know what spiritual aggression is and trying to play with the mindset. And that should make the FBI lose their job at that call center for trying to play with the mindset and trying to argue. I'm not gonna argue with you. That's not what I'm not gonna do when you know what human behavior do. Stop trying to play your political game. Y'all need some help, man. Stop it right now. Y'all need some help. Every last one of y'all. Stop trying to tick at the mindset, to tick at the behavior and the mindset. And you know, there's so much jealousy going on that Mike Tyson want to meet me and all the rest of them. I can't do it with the jealousy in the community. Everybody jealousy in church in the city. That's why church in the city is being invented. I'm sorry, but the people and his words have action. Donald Trump will have action when he throws stones, but can't understand it. Great power comes with great responsibility. Attorney and pastor say the people entrusted you with your power. God entrusted you to see everything of culture, to see it, but you choose not to see it. I asked that black judge, this was going to happen. She's going to lose her job. As a black judge in 2022 that was being very, you see, I was very smart. While the other teenagers talk about the government, this and that, you see, I was watching and I observing you. So I know I had to keep my head on straight because I know this is bigger than rap. This is bigger than trying to make it famous. This is something that I'm fighting for here. So this is bigger than rap. So a kid got a mindset of he just want to make it in the streets. He's not really fighting for nothing. He's not really fighting for nothing. So I had to ignore the things that I had to ignore. So I had to take people how they treated me in jail. I had to throw water while black hatred is in the jail. I had to treat them because my fight is bigger than what they can understand. They just want to make it in the streets, but they don't understand the principle of living. Our blacks don't understand the principle of living. Our young kids in our black generation, let me tell a woman from Muslim, she said something. They just want to live their regular life. God said you can live a regular life. And that's why this empire that I made for this music idea was going to, hey, everybody was going to have mansions on it and also have a warehouse full of food. But also, I can be able to, while you go do dumb stuff, I can be able to work for Amazon and take data off and stay maintained while you do dumb things. So you can be successful and be a billionaire and do what you want, but you still got to maintain your income and your balance. And I was taught that when I was 14 and 15 years old, taught how to balance. I had teachers. I was going to colleges, thrift stores. I was taught how to handle my business with my teacher because we go on a job site. So the way we had to talk to people at 14 and 15, that's why I say South Dallas, how we do stuff a little different in Carrollton, Texas than anybody. Our county is different. The way our school system is, and the way if it's challenges, the way we do stuff, Miss Chastity, Miss Lynn, and everybody, we do stuff. We don't just sit in the classroom. That's why I say when Donald Trump got with Joe Biden and the contract is already signed, that's why I was going to be over the disability department. The only thing that Ticket the Work program do is fill out application. They want to. I didn't deal with Miss Tammy. Oh, I just want to fill out and close your account. Right now, me and Desmond Miller and the whole team, each Walmart center, we hire people to go help people out with disability, with the CBLs, while the regular employees still do their thing. So that can still make a way of challenging disability. There's a reason why Trump, I'm mad at Trump, there's a reason why, but I can get over it. Jessica always told me, so I remember the good things and not always the bad things, but remember the good things. And I remember with Jessica. And sometimes she told me, sometimes you gotta kill your customer with kindness. And I remember all of those things and the wisdoms that Jessica told me at job when I worked at Walmart. So we're gonna have bad days. Of course, we're not gonna always get along with each other. We're gonna have our different mindsets and everything when we're working at a job at Walmart. But one thing I can't take everything out and say the whole Walmart racist. So when I grizz and I deal with some of my coworkers that believed in me, I remember when Russell, when I on my second, third week there, and Russell didn't want nobody to distract me. He said, Hubert, he money, he's valuable. I remember when Russell said something to me at 12, 16, and he didn't want nobody to distract me. And I remember those words when everybody else was trying to mess with me and trying to distract me from my work and try to make conversation. And that's exactly what Russell said. That was exactly what Russell said at Walmart. He said, I don't want nobody distracted from his money. That means he believed in me. So he distracted him. So the way that and we cleared out our problems up in 2019. But Charles with his behavior, and if Desmond Miller with Charles, we're gonna show the walkaway that Charles did. So me and Russell said, Hubert, thanks for coming to clear these problems with us. You can start earning some real bread with us. That was exactly what Russell told me in 2019 and 2020. So we understand those things because the behavior of those things. So I'm not gonna let the damage of others employ you because Renee lied and Jeff lied and Anthony and the rest of them got a problem. stop business. And I was taught that, but to understand that, you got to learn how to maintain and do the things that needed to do. I remember telling Robert when I saw a picture of Steve and Steve and Charles together. He said, I don't hold grudges. But I don't hold grudges. When people put me down, I take that and I feed that energy and I just start striving more. It's not grudges that I'm holding. I hear what you told me and I start just keep thriving more. So, and when Roberts was real scared when he first saw me. So, if Charles and if Joe Biden and Trump and all of them getting a thing, and you looking at that, he was terrified. If you look at his spiritual, he was so terrified of where I was stocking, the way I was moving the products, the way I was moving the product. And I learned something from Toys R Us because they taught me how to bend. And that way I was able to do the certain things. I think the guy at Toys R Us would be mighty proud of me. So in Louisville, before it closed down, Louisville, Texas, before it's like, I think he'll be proud of me to know that his hard work paid off for teaching me. So Robert was even some of the managers that came in at night when I was working in the milk department and helping out. He was actually scared. They was actually acting some type of way to see me work. And the spiritual behavior, jealousy. Actually, Xavier, when my friend Tabitha and Sabina, family member, came up there and hugged me, Hubert, you have grown so much. And Xavier was acting jealous, and James rolling his eye at the spiritual behavior of your employees. A customer said something to me. I'm standing outside the deli because you're going to see the cameras when I'm standing outside the deli. I'm looking at my coworkers from the outside. And I said something to Jessica. You should think before you hire people, right? And a customer popped up on me and said, Hubert, you right. And we looking at the employees' mindsets. So if I can get along with customers and understand it and dumb and go, I got wound up because I was doing what I was told. So if you go on the scrubber and you see when I was on the scrubber a Mexican intimidating until you doing other people's job, they didn't want me to do my job. So you lose your most valuable player because you want to be stubborn as a CEO. But I'm not gonna let one um, corporate office lady, because I didn't talk to Dilman Miller. So there's a corporate woman that got one problem. Why would I let her affect me when I talk to other people in the career management? And she said, Scott, you do deserve to be rewarded for your hard work. The positivity that I heard from her and I heard from the other employees from around the world. So when I have a problem at this local store, and that doesn't mean nothing, but when you got the support from every employee on Instagram, and every employee is on Instagram, welcome to the team. I got a treat for you when you come. So when you come to the team, the understanding those things, you just can't worry about one local office behavior and how you do things in a format. Because the millennial mindset, it's not always the employees. Sometimes you got to look at the managers. You got to look at the mindset, the people that you put in a position they are not right. When I worked at 1216, everybody used to complain about Charles and nobody needed, they used to just talk trash about him. But you know what Grizz told me, and one day I wish he was here. He told me one night, you can complain, but nobody will hear you. But if you don't act, your action don't match anything. And all of those things, So you can laugh all you want. That just filed the civil rights on the Supreme Court and on the state of Texas and on the White House. So God don't get what's coming to them, but the community keep attacking and lying, deceiving. And y'all paying attention to everything else, but Joe Biden don't know he gonna be held accountable for accidents. You can't say sorry when you could have prevented it. You think I didn't see that lady when she put her feet on the gas, put her body on the stairwell, looked at me in the Holy Spirit. So be very cautious in how your community acts towards me. Be very cautious in how they act towards me. Be very cautious when I see their spirit. That is sad, Governor Abbott. That is sad, Joe Biden. Look at y'all. You still got your political mind difference. Look at God had warned me about you. Jesus had warned me about you in many times. He had warned me about y'all mindsets and how y'all point of views is and how y'all like to dictate things and narcissist things and everything. But the understanding of those things, right? Tell your community I see their spirit. And tell them I'm not keeping my eyes closed after what Yellow Breezy in the city did to me with those teenagers acting jealous and all of that. I'm warning them. If you value your life, because you're not sitting in that jail, I ask for the jury life if you lie and protect every gang member and every kid. Watch what you do. That's sad that I had to go through all this. Look at y'all, man. That is, and then y'all want to argue. Then y'all little thing. Stop it. Stop it, Five. Stop it with the mindset. Stop it. Because with great power comes responsibility. Why the sense to have history and you can't do? Learn from it. You think I wasn't watching Jamie Foxx when the George Floyd thing was going on? Watching Jamie Foxx say, have you learned anything from us? Our government got to learn from the mistakes. They got to learn from John F. Kennedy and everybody that's involved. And they have not learned. They have not understand those things to become a good government and great at what you do. Obama said we can't change everything. Yes, we can change everything in our government. When we focus things piece by piece, every day by every day. Stop trying to criticize somebody and help certain people out with balance. But understand how can we push those understanding to grow the way we want to grow and understand it. We just don't make a living in America. We also grow in America. We just don't have a job to have a job. We learn how to grow and expand in America. It never been about the money with me. That one Peter did got to understand. It never been about the money with me to understand those things. So you got to know about my county and the things that goes on. We're going to talk in a little bit and the things that goes on. So we're going to college, we're going to thrift stores, we're going to elementary schools, we're going to business in South Dallas and Oak Cliff, and we're going to other businesses in Dallas and Fort Worth Mall. We're going to Frisco. We're going at the nursing homes. I'm going to Brookhaven. I'm going to North Lake. Like, I didn't spend half of my time in the classrooms. And people, I say, Mirza, I tell Mirza, ask your cousin where I'm at after school and before when I'm in school. And I leave school early to go to my job. Just because I quit my job at Big Lots doesn't mean I was done with them. I still had business with Big Lots. I was still going there with my school. So they don't know everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? Ricky told me something in 2019. We sitting outside of Mirza's house. He was in there and he said something about the whole time you don't know what things goes on but close when I go to school. The whole time I know you never picked up a book. When my teacher closed those doors, you never know. Mr. Pounder used to walk the hallways. As soon as he come and packed through our classroom stuff, my teacher closed the door on him because we doing things different. We don't work on Fridays, but they keeping these kids in the classroom all the times, and you got to know how to start changing stuff for every student, taking them to jobs. So that's why under Walmart you can teach them jobs. That I had the thing at Big Lots where I was working in the furniture department, and you can ask Sabina mom and dad. They saw me stocking, but you can't let Renee lies just because a couple of managers are Renee and Jeff like to lie. People like to deceive and narcissists. Narcissists is going on in the business. A person say they don't believe in God because they narcissists. They don't believe in that. They think fine of themselves because the opinion of the manipulating the system and manipulating their ways could get them ahead in life. But Donald Trump said he got where he had today by playing by the rules. Some rules are meant to be broken to define those orders because the hideaway. I don't regret nothing. But when Charles thought they can treat me bad, and Steve and all Charles and the rest of them think they can treat me bad, they think I didn't have a way out. I don't regret nothing. Don't they need to learn their lesson. And after the pain that's sad. Governor Abbott, you sad, and y'all still don't get it. None of you. The bitterness in capital, y'all still don't get it. You still don't get it. You still trying to force your point of views. All of you. But one thing we should not argue about our God and our Jesus and the love that brings with it. The peace and the harmony of understanding each other. So I'm trying to destroy that. When Goyati talk about on there, he said, no matter what, I don't say nothing. And we don't tell them nothing. You're a terrorist to your country, Dallas, and communities. So you listen to Goyati, you give up your country. So let me tell you what the next terrorism can happen. A bomb can blow up at a school, at a Walmart. It can happen. You don't know where it might happen at. A guy come up to me, he talk about me. I don't think 9/11. If we would have watched out for the spirit, they don't want you to walk with your eyes open. They don't want you. You know, I took my son in the community, and I showed him to the houses. But you know one thing I told him? I said, son, and I showed him what everybody else worked for. And I told him, you don't have to take nothing from nobody, but you're going to have to maneuver your mind and your mindset and your money, and you're going to have to maneuver things. And that's gonna have the time, because every day they're going to want to party and go. But you don't have to do that. You can save up money for club fund money. And while they're distracted. So the thing is, these things, we got to continue to focus on the things that we're focusing on to be where we're trying to be and go where we're trying to go. So those things to be where we're trying to be. I told the FBI, what's the side of history you're going to be on? What you going to be remembered as? You're going to be remembered as every FBI. You're going to be remembered about standing by something, about doing something right. 1,000 years from now, when you're bone torn into dust and people got to come to you, why do you want millions to stand by you over your grave and celebrate you for the act of kindness, for the act of awareness, for standing by something, to understand it? That's what you should be remembered for. You see, in New Orleans, when we celebrate, we have our cast and we like to celebrate and push champagne. See, people don't know, when we was in New Orleans, I used to have teenage girls dancing on me into block parties and going to projects. And different projects. So the difference in how we do things in New Orleans and how we celebrate ourselves is in a major way. I don't need the fame. I already have fame. You know why? Because I marched in Mardi Gras. I played cymbals. And my friend tried to teach me different instruments. And I remember seeing myself through the Superdome. Millions have already came and saw me. Why do I need the fame? And millions have always came and saw me. Martin Luther King said he'd die for what he stands for. But let me tell you, God and Jesus said, my child not going nowhere when we see the spirit of our enemy and see the mindset of our enemy. By the mindset of our enemy and understand it, right? So the understanding of those things and the greatness out of those things, I have warned them. I'm not going to walk around with my eyes closed when Yellow Breeze and them in the city did something. That's not going to happen when trust has been broken by God. Because you can sit up there with your Bible, but old covenants and old ways. See, I was in church in the city picking up I actually, when I was in church in the city, I was actually looking up the baby Jesus and looking up when the light baby God and Jesus, looking at when he was born and he's the light was on him. But it talked about old covenants and old ways, our old ways of thinking. They talk about sins. God say, what sin do I have when he come up in the spirit to address the issues that you stand for? But you trying to cause the accident and lies and your panic of your own human mindset is going to get you in trouble. I'm warning this community. And I'm one of these dumb teens, man. And they still not learning their lesson. God, every time they try, each day with their behavior. Lord, when I see their mindset and their spirit, stop it, Five. Stop it. Stop it, Five. Stop it, man. That is sad. Governor, y'all can sit up there with y'all political opinion. Y'all is sad. All of y'all. The lady that's sitting up there with Trump, y'all is sad. Y'all are sad, man. Nobody should be fighting over some when one nation under God into liberty and justice for all. In God we trust. We should not complain about things about the challenges in our nation, but our own America make it on worse. We're at war with ourselves. Until we understand that, the basic goals when America at war with itself, and we have to understand. But we can't be a government that work on everybody's issue. We just gotta just let a debate determine how we work on everybody's issue. I don't care if you win a vote. I know my dreams are coming true every day because I focus on my determination. Your vote don't mean nothing because I can still determine the outcome without you. I'm not even losing a vote. I can determine the outcome. That means by focusing on me, I can see the battle for the next century, the next thing. So it's one way that you can get. I don't have to be in the crowd fighting by you. See, one of the things I've been talking about that Sky News is doing in the UK, they got, and they've been doing, and I see everybody got their side, because I'm most in America, you got the Trump voters, you got the Joe Biden voters, you got everybody, you put up gates, and I saw it on the Sky News. I've been talking about that. And they started doing it. I don't know what's going on, but they got everybody's side when they setting up fence. So if you got Donald Trump voters, you get to set up a hall for the fences. If you got Joe Biden voters, you get to set up. Everybody got their side, but you can get your point across, and everybody can keep at it. I'm seeing some things in Sky News. What I'm seeing, everybody can go on the website and see if you come in here and you come in here like Trump website, if Joe Biden website, if it's Obama website, and fences can be sort of where you got Obama camp. And let me tell you, even let me tell you, I went on President Obama's page and Michelle Obama, and I read some things. I also listened to them on Spotify, and I do understand them. I do understand. But Joe Biden say he's my brother. Obama say he's my brother keeper. My brother keeper. Understand the challenges that we face and how can we get better every day. I'm not at competition with NBA YoungBoy, none of them, and I don't want to be at competition with them. This is about the growth that we are doing here. I don't want. That's why I don't want. I'm not looking for drama with them. And none of the streets of hip hop, they want drama, but they don't understand everything that comes with it. Like Nelly, see, y'all in it for the cause. I told the civil rights and I told the White House, some people want to become rich because they want to become, they want the money and want to hide. I become rich because I want to focus on the growth of it and the balance of it. And I told my mama, it's not always focusing on. She said something to me the other day. Even when you get your job, I like it when you get your haircut. You get your haircut. I still get my haircut, but I have to spend because also going to a barber each day and they raising up the prices 40 that's gonna cost. But why since I go to the barber each time and I can invest in myself and they taking money from me and they not understanding those things and not understanding the principle of those things. But these kids think it's all about them, but their parents not putting them in their place. One day I saw a TikTok video with Jerry Springer on there. I don't want to hear about that. That was a long time ago. Them kids and everybody mindset probably changed. When racism, they mindset to that girl, that job with Jerry Springer, and all the rest of those things, stop that. That's a long time ago. That person with the racism, they probably changed their mind, they perspective of life. We done seen many people on Jerry Springer show, and when they was racist and they got back on the show and changed after the Maury show, it was anybody. And anybody, if it was white and they talking about racism, they have changed their perspective on how they like black. I changed my life black now. So it's certain things what we go through in life and things. And sometimes people parents raise them to be like that. And that can affect things. That can affect the mindset. That can affect it. So they are taught these things of racism. The kids are taught these things. The way their parents are putting them in the environment of those things. And you have to understand those things. Because everything is about an army and control and discipline and stuff. When I was reading a Christianity book, and they got the Holy Grail out the Christianity book. When I was reading that in 2019, but also I'm watching documents about how different religions try to plan for and how they treat and manipulate those things. But I can have a 100-bedroom mansion, and everybody will invest in themselves and being your own brand, to understand that we all in it together. So the difference between those things and the things that goes on between that. But we can't constantly do things. My mama gotta understand I can't constantly play by rules and play by racism of narcissists of black and white and aggressive. Now everybody being spiritual aggression and trying to attack the mindset. Nobody don't want to deal with that, man. Nobody want to deal with the selfish behavior. But I'm warning Trump that this community do something you're gonna be held accountable for, and everybody you're gonna be put to death. You ain't just saying it wasn't it was your fault, Trump. It was you and your political problems. Because this didn't have to go that far, and how you handled it, how you said Trump, people would have respected you more. People would have respected you more if you would have said American business got out of death. God said I would give you more respect. You would have had you would have been impressed. More people would have came on your side, Trump. That would have been the biggest thing that you would have said. Because if we look at the statistics from all the way from the 2000s and from the 1990s, how many people and Governor Abbott can't come at me about it now because I was at going to job fairs at 14 and 15. Over there by Creekview, they used to have, before they had a Walmart, they had an Albertsons, and it was racist. They didn't even want the lady that hung up in one of my co-op teachers' face on my first year. So the way that people were sprouts, all the rest of these jobs behave. I didn't want no interviews as a team. I didn't want the job. I didn't want no interview. But you trying to put your statistics out there. That's sad, Governor Abbott. You still don't get it. What all that power you have, and you can't do what's right with it. You put your faith, and I just made it very clear to the Supreme Court and against the White House. Your vote mean nothing when your spirit ain't right. I'm gonna be here for a long time. I'm not going to wait till one time I'm 120 years old. And baby, I mean, that's just the way things is. But I'm gonna take care of the people that's laughing. So make it very clear on what we doing here. Focus. Focus. Focus on the determination of what you're doing here. I don't care if I was in China and Russia. My thing is to keep the peace and show love and just and have everybody. I don't care. It's to keep the peace. It's to understand the harmony of the love and the understanding. Stop trying to be in competition with each other to understand it. Because when something greater than you, and some of these people can't find peace because they arguing amongst each other, but they're not trying to understand the universe. They're not trying to understand the universe. So they're not trying to understand those things and everything that comes with it. But you want peace of mind. But you rather argue. But you want balance. You want to understand the planet. Arguing is not even in the nature. So when I walk outside, I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to breathe in and out. I'm breathing in and out. So I'll let the wind get it closer. Yesterday it felt good. I was stepping in the line, but last night it felt pretty good to step in just let the wind hit me and just breathe in and out sometimes. Sometimes you gotta let that nature hit you to understand it. To understand those things, to get where you're trying to go, to understand it. To just be the way things is. So people gonna say what that is. They already know the behavior, so they're not standing in that jail. They can forget that. These kids are not standing in that jail for every punch you hit, and they think it's a joke. And they parents, so why not their parents be arrested with them and be put to death with them? They think it's a joke. So Governor Abbott, I don't want to hear the FBI trying to hold information and trying to do all of that when it comes down to these jealous kids and their parents. Don't try it, because I'm warning everybody. I don't care what state you're in. Everybody's going to be held accountable for it. Don't say you know what, you didn't play no part of it, you innocent. Don't play that. When you made that decision, God showed me who you are. And watching Trump behavior, I know everybody involved, and you're a threat. And you're a threat. Your human behavior a threat. So why not? But they want to keep you in jail to feed you. You don't deserve to eat. You gonna die. And I feel like that. God feel like that. You don't deserve to eat my food as you try to take somebody the lies and the racism you have as a black man. But another black person, what they kid would think, but they don't take a step back and see how y'all act in the business towards this person. But you want your kids to attack, but don't see how you act. That's hatred that you still not trying to understand. But they talk about this black gonna talk about, we know what that badge is made for. Let me tell you, that badge may not made for violence, but you gotta think before you go at your enemies. You gotta think. That don't mean you're not fighting. So when Jesus gonna talk about let go of things that you can't control, I'm controlling right now. Message to the Supreme Court, file civil rights on the Supreme Court, file civil rights on the state of Texas and the community's behavior. So to understand those things, to understand it. But a person say I think I'm better than anyone. I don't think I'm better. I'm walking in Walmart and just being just calm and I don't think I'm better than no one. But realize how you treat and act in the business of a narcissist. A black person say I don't believe in God because you're a narcissist. And you're so busy abusing the system. And people let money control everything instead of than your faith. Because when your faith happens, you can become more richer than them. But you fiend for them. You fiend for something, but you don't fiend for balance. You don't fiend for balance of whatever that is. You don't want balance in your life. That's the difference. You don't want balance. You fiend for them, but you don't fiend for balance. Let me tell you something. I remember going to the Social Security office one day when I was having problems with my U-Haul. And I walked in one day at U-Haul and I heard Cedric say something. We cut his hour down and he still didn't budge. And the difference, I'm arguing with my Social Security. And I had to think, when you're in a deficit, when you're living on your own and you're maintaining, and when people talking about living beyond your means, stop that. Because stop this not $600 and $700 and y'all giving people that little piece of money. Stop that right now. Stop it. So, and Governor Abbott, you don't know nothing about me. Don't know nothing about my county. Don't know nothing about what I've been through in my community, in my schools. You sit at your desk every day. That's what you and Joe Biden. And I told Joe Biden, why you don't get up? And I told Joe, why you don't get off your butt and go to a Social Security office? don't go there, because when I worked at corporate or when I worked at Walmart, everybody was scared. Corporate office here, corporate office here, corporate office coming, corporate office coming. I said, I'm being myself. I'm just being me. And they saw me. They looked at me. They think I didn't know it was them that came and saw me. So I know what you on your little suits when I was on the clock. So was I scared? No. I look right at y'all. Oh, corporate office, no. At 2996 that we saw each other. And you was smiling for some reason, but you had a grin. But that grin can mean different meanings. So you think I didn't see you on the clock? You stood right in my face and looked at me. You think I didn't know who you is? I know who you is by spirit and by mindset. But tell Jessica, why did I get wrote up? Tell him it ain't what you think. Right? Right? When I turned that cone out to Jessica Warman, what your manager said. Tell when Joe Biden, what they said, you still come back to work? I'm going to show you. It don't pay me enough, but you will lose your valuable employee because a stubborn of Jessica not telling them. The reason why I was having confusion, that Jessica not telling them and putting their employees in their place, and I told them to do it. My co-manager, Chris, before he left, he said, Hubert, I get you to do the job because I can know you can do it.